Yeah, Gary, I didn't watch your 2 hours of videos. I got, just a couple minutes, 3 minutes or something, and I stopped at shitholes like you because I'd already made like 5 comments. It's too distracting to listen to you. You can't think about the ideas. You just have to think about being called an asshole. Now, when I dump those reactions and comments, somehow it makes it easier just to forget about that and move on and just filter out the ideas. But when I go off to my tool and it just becomes obvious. It's just note after note of, no, I'm not a fuckhead. This is what I meant. I'm done with that. I don't mind if you go, that fucking idea is stupid and this and that and the other thing. But you always have to make it personal. And I've had enough of it because, you see, I've had enough of it for a long time. But, I had things to learn because I'm genuinely interested in ideas, including crazy ideas like your ideas, and the fact that you have some good political conclusions, according to me, like with IRB, limited though they are, and in spite of the fact that you and I would never be able to cooperate on them because I hate dogmatism, and you're a consummate dogmatist. But see, I hate dogmatism. I didn't say I hate you. You can take it however you like. But I'm talking about I hate dogmatism. I don't think you're inherently dogmatic, but you are actually dogmatic. And I've been tired of that for a long time, but I like learning. I had things to learn. Now, I'm not learning anything more about you. You're in a rut, right? Your ideas have been exposited. I'm not learning more about you. I'm certainly not learning about the world talking to you. Okay? Now let me explain your confusion about your debate room. The problem is, it's not a debate room. I think that's the source of your confusion. It's not a debate room. It's not a debate when you can be kicked for asking a Polish guy about Poland or just anything that irritates you, especially since it irritates you to be disagreed with. Now, the times that you seem to think that I've agreed with you tend to be the times where I do what I was doing with that Polish guy, and I ask you, what's it like in Gary's stand? How does this piece together? And when I finally understand that it's like, well, I believe this and this and this, and that's why I say this, and I go, oh, I see how those piece together, you think you've been agreed with. But if I go on to say, oh, no, I don't agree with that, I was just trying to figure out your position. You see, this is something you could, well, you kind of subconsciously do it, but consciously value other people's positions and fuck you. You figure out someone's position, see? And if I go on and go, oh, no, but I disagree, this is my position, well, then it's kicked. That's not a debate. Now, I don't mind that it's not a debate because I found that it takes a lot of energy to do one of those rooms. It takes an MC. So fine, it's the what does Gary think room. Because I'm interested in that sometimes. I'm like, well, what's your take on this? You have one of your guys ask, why do you talk about people? Well, because that's about the last thing I'm interested to know what you think about. What do you think about these personal things where I could get some understanding and metaphor of more abstractions, but it's just more practical. I'm not going to be querying you on the determinism or anti-ableism. I understand your views on all of that. It's easily understood and mastered. Okay, now, you do still have the kinds of ideas that are like, oh, that could be thought-provoking, but the vitriol is too thick. I'm not interested. Okay? So, obviously, you're never going to change that aspect of yourself. Nothing personal, but there's no fucking way I'm going to listen to that and make a note every minute about how you fucking insulted me. Okay? It's clear I've demonstrated my point. Just even in the first 3 minutes, you can't admit the defeat you've already actually admitted to your position. Yeah, there are a bunch of theories, and I pointed out none of them have ever been proven absolutely correct. But many have proven robust and do pretty well. Right? You have a dream that you can find the fountain of youth, the perfect value system. You have a dream and a presumption that you already have. Well, that's clearly not the case. To me, it's a confession what you were talking about by accident. Because it's possible for two people to come to the same conclusion in alternate but valid ways because those ways don't contradict themselves. When you talk about accident, that must be you, Gary, because you are inconsistent. You're not consistent at all. Your humanism is not consistent with your dogmatism. Your button-pushing dreams. None of it. It's very emotional. You intuited your way to a certain point at which you are now stuck. And the more success you have collecting people to say, yeah, that's right, the more stuck you'll get. Because I have a feeling you've been moving throughout your life, evolving your ideas. The more you think people are agreeing with you, the more stuck you're going to get, the more that evolution stops. Right? I'm not willing to stop there with you, Gary. So I'm not going to continue my visits to this backward part of the path you're at. All right? This dystopian, Epicurean garden. Right? Okay? You want to talk to me, then you can come a little bit forward on the path. And realize that if you're going to do a 2-fucking-hour video saying, well, this bugs me, but I think it'll be productive in these ways, and then maybe you don't need to insult me for being the reagent of your productivity. You see, that's how I valued you, even though you're a fucking brain-dead moron. You provoke thought, you provoke conversations. And I say, well, that's pretty good. How's he do that? It's like a magic trick. I appreciate that. You're not man enough to appreciate that sort of thing. So you just think, oh, I'm getting bothered. And 2 hours of my life I'll spend on my computer. It'd take fucking a week to upload 2 fucking hours of shit. I couldn't even possibly get it up that quick. Well, you lack perspective. And you're a dogmatist. I don't agree with you because you're a dogmatist. Even the things we agree on, I know I'd never agree with you in trying to enact things like that because you're a dogmatist. And you think you're fucking correct. Right? And it looks like you struggle internally with the fact that, well, you're also willing to give people a break and make a group decision and stuff. But in reality, it's all in proportion to how much, to what's going on in the particular moment. Like what you can get away with. Okay? Right? So you have to do all that hard work. And when I was running the sticking room, sometimes I'm like, wow, you actually have to ban and stuff like that. And I realized it was a necessary thing. You don't even realize that because you love to ban, so it just seems like it's all natural. And you, as a result, end up thinking it's a debate room. It's not a debate room. It's find out what it's like in Gary Stan room. Right? I give credit where credit's due. It could be interesting. Gary Stan is an interesting, weird place, like where the wild things go to die. But I'm not willing to put up with the personal directed insults. This is too distracting, right? So that's that,